Hello friends, welcome to the Python series. Now today we will see how we can take the user inputs. So for that we are just first taking the name as an input. So how you can initiate it. So I'm just writing user input equals to input, that is the predefined method which we will be using to take an input from the user. And while getting the input from the user, we want that some text or the message need to be displayed. So I'm writing here enter name. So this is the message I will see whenever I'm going to initiate an input from the user side. Once this input is been taken, it will be stored in the user input variable that we will be printing out here using the print statement. Okay, so this way I'm just taking an input. Now in case you want to just check it out, the type, like the input which you have given, it is of which category, like it will be a text, it will be an integer or float. So for that we want a function need to be taken, that is the type. This will be giving us the type of the input which you have entered. Let's see this. Now I am writing here the name of the person and just see the enter name message has been coming. That means the message what you have defined over here, it is coming. Now when I press enter, now you can see you entered Sam. This is the print statement. We are getting the input printed over here plus the type, like which type of input you have given to the system. So we are getting it as str. So the input which you have given to the system is the string category. So type is a function which will be giving us the type of your input, right? So this is, and the very important thing is by default any input which you are giving to the system is the string category only. So whatever be the numbers, even if you're giving the numbers also, it will be considered as the string itself only. Okay, so now let's see how we can take input as a number in that case. So for taking an input as a, and that need to be considered as a number only. So we am just making a one more section over here. So now you can see again I'm taking a number. I want that input need to be in the numeric category here. So I'm just first taking it as an input and storing it as a num variable and just printing it out. Now when I'm just find out the category or the type of that input, now again you can see it will be the integer itself. Now you see I am taking 4 as a number. It will be printing it out, but again the category is the string itself. So if I want to consider it as a number instead of the string, so there we need to do some kind of typecasting in the way we want to convert the data type of any of the variable into some another category. So now I'm just converting the string variable into the integer. So what we will do is we will just write num equals to int. In the braces we have to mention the variable. So whatever variable you're mentioning, now it will be converted into the integer category, and we want to make sure, like, see, now if I want to just find it out again, what is the type? Now again you can see here the type is mentioned as the integer. Now earlier this type will be the string, but because we did some type conversion over here, so now it is showing the integer. So this is the way we can take the input from the user and convert it into the numeric way. Okay, so the same way we can go for float values also if you want to take it some decimal values in that case. So here I'm just taking the input from the user and converting that input in a float. Now see the two line of code, I'm just combined it into a one single line itself. Now you can see the input function will execute first. It will take the number and then the float conversion method will be executed. It will convert your input into the float. You can make sure the category also. Now you can see here 7.0, this is your input that is considered as a float only. Okay, so this is another way we can take the float value. Now let's move on to the next section where we will be entering the time. Okay, so I want that the user should enter a time over here. So for that, first we need to import some library, that is the date time library I'm using. I'm just taking an input from the user with a specific command or the message I want that key. It should be enter a time, and the format also I'm specifying it's in the hour, minute and seconds, right? So now my time is stored over here and I'm just printing it out. Now again, if I want to just see what I have entered, and again, because it is by default in the string category, now I will need to convert it into the date time format. So for that I am using the date time library, this class what I have used, datetime.strpt. So this is the method that we will use to convert the string method into the date time format. So I am passing the variable and the format also I am mentioning. When you print it out, now you can see this will be my input. Through the print statement I am getting the same thing, but when I'm converting the string into the datetime object and when I'm trying to print it out, now you can see my hour, minute and second format is this. Along with that, this date is also coming. So it is 1900 0101. What does it means? That means this is a default value. In case we are not passing any date to the function, it will take its default value and it will be displayed over here. Okay, so this is the default date which we are getting it along with our specified time. Okay, so to avoid it, if you want to specify any date and or you want to get some current date, so how we can proceed with this? Now this is one of the another method in which what I am doing is I am taking the current, or you can say the today's date. So for that I am using a function that is datetime.date.today. So with this method it will take today's your system date and will store it into the current date variable. Now you can see this is the date, this is the current or the today's date which I am getting through my datetime function. Okay, now move on to the next section. In case we want today's date, right, and with the time stamp as well. So what we can do is, now we can write here datetime.now. When you will use the now method, it means that you will be taking the date as well as the system time also. So just check it out, the date and time. I'm just printing it out here. You can see it will be showing the current date also and the system time also. So this is another way through which we can take the input from the user. Okay, so this is all related to the user input. Hope you will like the session, and if you would really like it, please do subscribe the channel. Thank you.